Hi, sexy. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm Dr. Limor, your friendly sex and relationship counselor and therapist. This is Anti-Aging Sensuality, and today I want to talk to you about a few questions that I kind of gathered into one, as I always do. And the questions all had to do with the communication. So essentially, a bunch of you asked, how do we best communicate with our partner? What is the best manner to communicate with our partner? How do we know how to communicate with our partner? And these are all very important and relevant questions that I would like to address. And for that, I chose a very interesting and very sweet method that was established by the writer and the great author Gary Chapman. And he has written a book that is very world famous and world renowned, and it has to do with the communication between two parties, the partners. And he called it the 5 love languages, because essentially what he claims is that we have certain ways to communicate that works for us and certain ways that work for our partner. And if we establish the way that is our love language that works for us, or the love language that works for our partner, if we understand it, if we communicate via that love language, we essentially can create a very supportive, a very well tolerated, established, wonderfully practiced communicating relationship. And I agree, and I wanted to kind of share with you this information today because I think it's valuable for now, for the future, and sometimes even for the past, to kind of learn from our mistakes or the way we managed or related to our partner in the wrong kind of love language, and that created kind of the surface for betterment or kind of a change. So let's just get right to it. And the first love language that he's speaking about is words of affirmation. So someone that communicates via words of affirmation is actually someone that is very interested in these kind of kind words that are being said to one another. So for instance, if I'm someone that needs that kind of manner of love language that is related to as words of affirmation, I will need my partner to say I love you many times. I will need my partner to kind of compliment me on things that I do. I will need my partner to kind of solidify the idea that they're there for me, that I can count on them. I will need to hear these words or to see them written, to receive love notes, other things like that, of that manner. But it will be something that is established via verbally or in a written manner, kind of from my partner to me, in a way that is not something that I need to kind of guess or rely on the idea that my partner loves me and relates to me in this manner. I will need to learn it again and again. This is the love language that works for me, and I need these affirmations, so that works for me. The second love language that we can establish is physical touch, because many people don't really rely on the word of mouth or something that is written. They need to feel the love, in other words. So if I am someone that needs the physical touch, then I'll need my partner to actually show me that kindness and that love and that compassion and fondness via physical touch. And that could be not only intimate touch, but that can be kind of a caress or a hug or a kiss, or just warming each other up or snuggling together, or anything that is not necessarily intimate. Obviously, also the intimate touch is very relevant here if I'm someone that needs the physical touch. But essentially, it can be anything, and it needs to be on a daily basis and a few times a day, because I'm someone that needs to feel it. The tactical touch is the tactical manner is very relevant to me, more than the verbal manner of this affection. So this is something that I need, and my partner needs to know this so he can kind of relate to me in this kind of manner, and that can work. The third love language would be quality time. So quality time is very important, because sometimes we assume that we spend quality time together, for instance, watching a movie together, but at the same time, we are sitting together and not really paying attention to one another. So one of us is on the phone, the other one is like, distracted. We're not really sharing that quality time. Now, I prefer to relate to quality time as something that is not necessarily watching something together, but rather having a conversation together, having something that we share together. For instance, a meal, we look each other in the eye, we spend time. All these things together kind of create a quality time. And this is very important. It's not being shared with other people. So if we're talking quality time, that can be maybe we can go out with friends and everything, but we still have to maintain some form of a quality time or shared time, only us together. So our partnership is dependent on this time spent together with undivided attention. And that is something very important because many people are not really verbal about asking for that. And if I find that this is my love language, or if I find that this is my partner's love language, preferable love language, then it's something we should kind of invest in and make sure we spend the necessary time. The fourth love language that I want to talk about is receiving gifts. And this is something that is unrelated to anniversaries, birthdays, holidays, whatever it is. If I am someone that is being charged to my greatest affection self, or if I am someone that by receiving gifts I feel loved, that is something that needs to be established on a regular basis. Now, I'm not talking about buying a car or a home. I'm talking about little gifts. They can be cute, they can be inexpensive, they can be something that we kind of, give one another. Or if I'm, for instance, recognizing that my partner needs the gifts kind of love language, then I'm gonna buy him little nuggets of things. Or if he's, I don't know, a smoker, I'll buy him a lighter. If he's someone that likes to fine wine, I'll buy him, I don't know, a small bottle of wine to his taste. If he's someone that likes to play video games, I'll buy him, or I'll download something from the App Store, or something like that that has to do with giving this affection, giving the attention. But it doesn't have to be very expensive. It doesn't have to be something that we invest a lot of time and effort and money in, because that's not really sustainable. So something that is bearable, that is manageable and feasible, but we can still maintain on a regular basis and will not require us to kind of go out of our way. And the last love language that I want to mention is the love language that is called acts of love, or acts of service rather. So acts of service is very important and very different from receiving gifts. So acts of service is, by definition, would be, for instance, I'll give an example that will clarify it by immediately. So for instance, if I'm working late, an act of service will be to feed the children, to bring them, to make them dinner, or to go and take them out for dinner, because then I won't have to do this when I come home, or I won't have to ask somebody to do this because my partner will take care of it. If I'm working late, if I'm not at home, if I'm out with a friend, even something that is leisure or something that I enjoy myself, then my partner will give our child a bath, or clean the house, or do something that I was supposed to do if I were at home doing it, but now I'm out and having my own fun or working, whatever it is, and they'll take care of it. So acts of service is something that is very, very valuable. Sometimes we don't pay attention to how valuable it is because it's trivial, because it's not a big deal, but it is. And if I am someone that is motivated by acts of service that I'm being handled, then that will be something that will move me greatly, and I'll feel like my partner is really listening to me, really hearing me, really takes care of me, really wants me to kind of feel good, feel loved, feel taken care of. And this is something that can really contribute to our relationship. But this brings me to the last point that I want to make in regards to this. So kind of establishing and understanding and practicing these love languages can really maintain our relationship, but it can also build on things that we kind of lost. So for instance, in the beginning of our relationship, we have like the honeymoon phase. During this phase, we don't really need anything. We're just so in love and charged with this feeling of sensation and sensational feeling to our partner. We don't really need anything other than the love. So if we do these if we use these different love languages, we can establish again the honeymoon phase that is kind of gone already because we spent, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years together, whatever it is. And now we need to kind of establish it. So that can really kind of help us maintain it. Another thing that it can help us maintain is the emotional connection, because if we rely on listening, paying attention to our partner, and via that we learn their love language, it's something that establishes connection, a very good connection, a very strong connection. And obviously, last but not least, and an obvious point, it of course enhances communication, because sometimes we need to ask and we need to kind of learn and we need to gather the information for the love language that is necessary for our partner or for ourselves via this communication. And again, it's something that needs to be checked and rechecked again and again, because these are things that change within the years, within our condition, the dynamics of our relationship, and other factors. So essentially, these are the 5 languages. Use them to your advantage. Use them to your advantage yourself and to the advantage of the relationship with your partner. And I promise it will show results. Hopefully this helps you. Let me know. Leave comments. Let me know if this is interesting. Let me know if you tried it. I'm very looking forward to your feedback. And again, I welcome you every week. Please send your questions. I love them and I'll address all of them, I promise. And until then, stay sexy and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.